Hello everyone, what's up? It's been a while, but I wanted to get on here and talk about mental health for a second. Yay, we love that. We love that topic. Ever since I moved, which I have done, I have moved, by the way, a video on that coming soon. I moved a couple months ago in February. I have just been going through it mentally. Haven't we all? So on top of my ADHD, I've also just been kind of figuring out like who I am and what my bad habits are. This is called shadow work, if you aren't familiar with that term. It sounds like something like mystical and crazy, but what it is it's really taking a look at your habits and your default thoughts and your, oh, what is the word? Your tendencies, the things you believe, and just figuring out like why. These are the things that just seem to have always been there since you've been growing up, but they usually are because of something that happened to you in your childhood or something that happened while you were growing up. And so I've just been doing a lot of like self-reflection and deep like shadow work, like figuring out why do I feel certain ways about certain things and revisiting those instances as they come up. They just like happen as epiphanies sometimes, and I'll be sitting there in the shower and I'll be like, holy shit, that's why I do this, is because this one thing happened this one time. And it's crazy. Sometimes I feel like I'm like my own therapist, because when I feel something, I will ask myself like, why? Why do I feel so strongly this way? Because oftentimes I don't know. And honestly, that's helped a lot. Like when I feel frustrated or when I feel upset about something, I ask myself like, is this justified? Like this feeling, is it justified? I let myself feel the feeling. I don't tell myself like, you shouldn't be feeling this way. I let myself feel it, and then it's gone within like an hour, and I don't have my entire day ruined by small things. And I feel like so many people nowadays just go through life like riding the wave of their feelings, and they stay on that wave like way too long, and they just let things eat at them. I am not gonna be mad today about something that happened yesterday unless it's something that like greatly impacts my life or my friends or my family. And I have a very small friend group, so and like I pick my friends wisely. Yeah, I just feel like ever since I became single, ever since I moved, like I have just been reflecting on myself and letting go of a lot of like toxic behaviors. I'm a lot more, I check in with myself a lot. I'm like, are you being a good friend? Are you being a good person? Like I'm really quick to admit when I've done something wrong. I'll apologize in, you know, a certain way. Like it's hard to explain. Anyway, lately I've been thinking about how not being medicated for ADHD is impacting the way I view myself and the way I view myself like in the world of everyone else. I have a couple close friends that I feel safe enough being myself around. And I don't know if you've heard this term before, but it's called masking. And it's where people who are neurodivergent, whether you're autistic, on the autistic spectrum, or you have ADHD and you're on the ADHD spectrum, we will mask our true personality in order to make other people feel comfortable. And TikTok has really helped me realize what masking is. And it's like something you don't even think about. It's something that comes so naturally because it's so ingrained in my life. And I can actually think back onto like when I was a kid and I masked, or like I would fail to mask something, because when I was a kid, you know, I was a kid and I would say some things and like people would just be like, what are you talking about? Like you're like, what the heck? Like that's so terrible. Like why would you say, like, it's hard to explain. But the things that have happened in the past have built the habit of masking in front of people and just pretending to be a normal person. And it's just so ingrained in my mind that I can't just turn it off. It's such a process to be okay. And it actually hurts my feelings sometimes. Yesterday, I actually like cried because I was thinking about how when I want to relate to somebody, I will accidentally like hijack a conversation. I don't mean to do it, but if somebody's sharing something about their life, I'll be like, oh my gosh, finally something that I can talk about. Yeah, I do that too, blah, blah, blah. And then people, when I do that, people will just kind of like look at me and that'll be the end of the conversation. And it ended because I hijacked it. And I feel so bad after that. Like, and I feel like that's just something I can't, like, it's either that or never talk, because that's what I do. Sometimes when I'm in a social conversation or a social setting with multiple people, I just won't talk because I'm afraid of making somebody uncomfortable. I'm afraid of coming off as someone who hijacks a conversation because of those awkward silences that occur sometimes after I'm done sharing my side of the story, which I'm not trying to hijack I'm not trying to hijack the conversation, but the way people will look at me after I say something, after I share my part, is like, nobody asked you, or like nobody cares. Like nobody actually says that stuff, but I can feel it, and I feel instant embarrassment, instant regret, and I just end up feeling bad, and I'm like, wow, these people probably think I'm a terrible person because I hijacked the conversation. So there's that, and then there's, you know, like if you don't know, or if you have ADHD, or maybe you do and you just don't have the symptom, but I will have full-on conversations with myself about something, and then I'll think of something and I'm like, oh, I want to share that. Like I want to start a conversation about that thing that I just thought of, and it was a long process of thought that I had in my mind, and so I'll bring it up, this random thing that is justified in my mind. Like the way we got to this random thing was totally justified, but it was all in my head, so nobody else heard it. So I'll arrive at this thing and I'll share it, and everyone was like, where did that come from? Like that's so random, like where did that come from? So not only are we not having a conversation about something that I'm really interested in and that I thought would be a good conversation starter, a good topic to talk about, but now everyone thinks I'm weird. Everyone thinks I'm random. Everyone, like, I feel so dumb when that happens. Oh my god, I'm gonna start crying again. I don't want to, but it just makes me feel so dumb, and I'm not. This is something like I feel like one of these days I need to cry about. But yesterday I was like, I really need to make a video about this because there's probably other people who feel the same way. Anyway, so when people say like, just be yourself, like I feel like that's really the last thing I need to do. Like I want to be myself so bad. I want to be so unafraid of just saying the things that are on my mind. Like I catch myself so much. People think I'm quiet when I go out and about because I don't want to take my mask off. I can, but when I do, the feeling I get when people stare at me and make me feel stupid, the feeling I get when I say something and I instantly regret it because of the reaction I get from people, it wasn't what I expected, the feeling I get when I tell a joke that like in my mind was really funny and then like it just is really awkward and like nobody laughs, like the feeling I get when that happens is not worth it. It's not worth being myself. So that's why I don't do that. That's why I don't take the mask off, even though I really want to. And it's like becoming an issue when I talk to guys that I like, and it's hand in hand with being a people pleaser too. Like I'm such a people pleaser. I want people to be comfortable. Like I want them to normally get their way, and like, but the thing is I don't want to be stuck in a relationship with someone because I dumbed myself down and then be too afraid to be myself, because I already went through that. I just went through that for like 4 years. I was so scared to be myself, and I don't want to do that again. But it's super hard because how do I warn someone that like, hey, I'm really weird, like without seeming like, I don't know, like I feel like that's such a like, I'm not like other girls thing to say, but like really, like I can be weird sometimes, and but there's also like this side of me that's like really intelligent, and I love to have like intelligent conversations and like philosophical conversations and get into like really deep topics. I freaking love that shit. I love it so much. But you wouldn't know that if you only pay attention to the side of me that's like freaking crazy and like just says weird things all the time and like thinks about weird things. But like it's just who I am, and I don't want to have to hide that. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now on my mental health. If you have any tips on how to take the mask off, and if anybody like has any similar experiences, so I don't feel like I'm the only one, because I really do right now. I feel like I'm the only one who has this problem, and I didn't think it bothered me that much until yesterday when I was thinking about it, and I kind of did like a mock video in my car, because I usually do that when I'm driving. I'll like pretend I'm filming a video just to get my idea out and like run it through my head, and I started crying. And so I'm like, obviously this is a problem, but I don't want to be medicated because I would rather still have my personality intact than feel like I'm not myself because I'm medicated, you know? I was even more quiet then because I was able to catch my thoughts. I don't want to have to do that. I would like to just relax. It's like there's a side of me that's like serious, and then there's a side of me who's like goofy, and like sometimes when the serious side of me is up front, the goofy side will just poke its head out and be like, hey, blah blah blah, and like people are like, what the fuck, like what? I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that the struggle is real, as you already probably know. But I've gotten a lot of new subscribers lately. I think I'm up to like 800 now, and I haven't even been making any videos, so I wanted to at least come up here and say something because I really appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go shopping because I'm going to Florida in a week, so that'll hopefully help me feel better. And thanks for watching me cry. I'm really sorry. Anyway, I will see you guys later. Bye.